You're registered in sam.gov. You've got your cage code. You may even have a DUNS number and your LLC all set up. You're ready to start bidding. Now, where are those opportunities for you to bid on? Today, we're going to go through a whole bunch of different places that I go to when I'm looking for opportunities to bid on with my government contracting business. We're going to start with the number one, the sam.gov that everybody knows, and then we're going to work our way through several that hopefully you can get into, get registered, start bidding, find those contracts that really fit your wheelhouse, the ones you're really comfortable with. You may already have subs lined up for, or if you're selling products, something you have a line on that you think you can be competitive in the government contracting world so you can get started. Now we're going to help you find those opportunities. Now I'm going to do it with doing a lot of my screen sharing so you can see the sites that we're going to. And then I'm also going to put all of these links down in the description below this in YouTube so you can click on them, go straight to them, get registered, and start bidding. So let's get started. Like I said, the first one we're going to start with is sam.gov. That's where we are here. We are in sam.gov. Now, for me, with my business, I focus on promotional products, branded merchandise, logoed apparel, and products that people use for marketing and advertising. And you'd be absolutely amazed at how many millions of dollars worth there are out there in the government world. So what I do typically is I go into sam.gov. I'll come down to this little search bar right here. I'll click on the word promotional, put it in there, click search, and let's see what pops up just randomly out of this deal. So now I've got a bunch of keywords in mind, and even the word promotional is pretty broad, so I get some that aren't exactly related to me. So that one probably won't. Geospatial services, look here, third one down, recruiting promotional items. I'm going to click on that recruiting promotional items, and then I'm going to spend some real quality time reading through this opportunity and finding out, is it a set aside? It is. It's a hub zone set aside. So it's only open to businesses that are categorized as a hub zone business. It'll give you the NAICS code. It'll give you a description. You can go on down through the deal. Here's your primary points of contact on it. Sam.gov is the most commonly used by people who are new to government contracting because that's where you went to register. That's where you learn about government contracting. But let me caution you, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of other opportunities out there that never come close to sam.gov that you can be bidding on and making real money at. In fact, other places where you can find opportunities with much less competition involved in those opportunities. I have bid on projects through some of these other sites I'm going to show you where I was one of only 2 or 3 businesses who turned in bids on those projects. And I got to tell you, I would much rather compete against 1 or 2 others than 427 who are bidding on the same thing. So let's get back into it. Let's move on to my second favorite, one that I got really started with in this business, GPO.gov. Now, the GPO.gov runs what's called contractorconnection.gpo.gov. Anything that's printed, that can be envelopes, stationery, any kind of merchandise with a logo printed on it, a lot of those that are under $100,000 for the total contract will post on gpo.gov. Now let's just take a quick look and see. I haven't looked at it in 3 or 4 days, so let's look and see if there's anything here right off the bat that I would love to bid on. Let's see, scheduler, pocket guide, flip book, no. Ambulance wrap, I don't do wraps. Sesame Street Color and Learn pamphlets. I might do that. So I would click on the opportunity, a second window opens up, and then I would start reading through it. This one is 100,000 saddle-stitched pamphlets, and it's 125,000. They're splitting it into 2 orders, 125,000, and they are, let's see, Sesame Street Color and Learn books. Now, can I find a print shop to print those? Sure, shouldn't be a problem at all. Do I want to bid on it? I don't know. I'll dig through the specs on it later and see if it's something that I'm interested in. But gpo.gov is a really quick, easy way to get started if you have access to a print shop that will do government work for you. You can sub through. The vast majority of the contracts given through GPO allow for subcontracting, and they don't enforce the Buy American Act on the vast majority of these because they realize that a lot of these products are coming in from overseas. They are sub $100,000 contracts, so they're not mandated to be bound by the Buy American Act or to use TAA compliant countries to produce them. So I do a lot of production in gpo.gov, and a lot of my stuff that I bring in comes straight out of China or Vietnam or Pakistan. So it's a really good source, lots and lots of opportunities to look through. Now let's go on to the next one. This one I don't use hardly at all. However, there are thousands of opportunities for bidding in this. This is the DLA DIBS site. In the DIBS site, you can find all kinds of stuff to bid on. The clauses and the mandated FARs are a bit more strict in DIBS, so you'll need to make sure that you read through the opportunities closely. You can, in DIBS, set your preferences with keywords and specific NAICS codes so that when opportunities arise on DIBS, they automatically email you with a link to that opportunity. So you don't have to go into DIBS every day and search through thousands and thousands, reading pages and pages and pages of opportunities. Set your NAICS codes in the beginning, set them in your settings, and then every day if an email comes across that fits your codes, click on it, follow the link, and you'll be fine. See if you want to bid on it or not. Most of the sites I'm going to show you today have some sort of feature like that so that you don't have to spend hours and hours searching for the opportunities. They actually send you an email based on what codes you set up in the system. So let's move on to the next one I have, Unison Marketplace. I do a little bit on Unison. I monitor their posts by having my keywords and my NAICS codes put in my preferences. So I get emails from them when opportunities arise that fit what I consider my wheelhouse, my expertise. Unison is a fantastic place to look for a lot of bids. They are larger than the GPO.gov contracts, so you can make some more money on these. They're a little bit more strict on the Buy American. It's really, really common to have the Buy American Act and the Trade Agreement Act compliance clauses listed as requirements in the Unison packages. Now, also, a lot of the opportunities you find on sam.gov will link straight to Unison. Okay, so those are four of the big nationwide. They show a lot of federal stuff. It's huge databases of opportunities that you can look at. Now let's scale back a little bit. Let's go to the next step down, which is state level. I do an awful lot of state business. And for me, I prefer the state business. It's typically easier to deal with the end user, the buyer. Typically easier to put your bids together, although there have been a few exceptions. So the one I use most, of course, is for the state of Texas, the Electronic State Business Daily Search. Once again, I'll put the links down in the show description below. So I use Texas a lot because I live here. Now, let me tell you one of my favorite things about doing state contracts. If you win and perform well on state contracts, a lot of times your phone will ring or you'll get an email from the previous contract's buyer. Something like, hey, I need X done. Can you do that? And I'd just rather not put it out for bid if I don't have to. I have won numerous contracts with no bid whatsoever because they knew me, I had performed well on previous contracts, and they've bypassed the bidding situation altogether and just giving me the order outside of the bidding platform. It's not just Texas. There are other states and cities that do that with me now. So you have a much better chance of actually establishing those relationships that lead to business done without bidding, which is really what we're all after here. It's easier, it's less stressful, and you can make more profit margin when you're not actually in a competitive bidding situation. Let's go through some others that I do. I do an awful lot of bidding with the city of Philadelphia. There's a bunch of contracts they post out there. And once again, you can go into the preferences, set your codes, the things you want to be notified about, and then the opportunities as they're posted just show up in your email. And that makes it a lot easier than scrolling through pages and pages and pages of opportunities. What else do I have on here? The City of Columbus. I've done several orders for them that I've won the bidding on. You can go in here and get registered as a vendor and once again set your notifications, and they'll email you also. I actually won a contract from Hawaii for 6,000 plastic stadium cups. It's a really nice contract, really good people to deal with. I haven't won any others after that, but Hawaii is a great one. Now, one thing to note with Hawaii, if you're selling them products, make sure you get a good shipping quote before you put your bid in, because shipping to Hawaii is extremely expensive, something you have to allow for when you're bidding. Next on here, City of Houston. I do a lot of work for the City of Houston. I'm working on a couple of contracts right now for them that I won the bidding on. Once again, set your preferences and they will email you as those opportunities come available. Cleveland, I've done some work for. Here's SEPTA. Now, SEPTA is Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority. It's not even state level. It's smaller than state level. You can go in, get registered with SEPTA, and you will get emails when bid opportunities come up that fit what you're looking for. I will caution you with SEPTA, a lot of their stuff is really, really small. They put everything. If they need a box of paper clips, they put it out for bid. So keep that in mind when you're looking at SEPTA, although it is a good one. And here's Georgia. I've done some bidding with Georgia. I've done some bidding with Texas A&M. I've done some bidding with Alabama, with Florida, with Maine. I did a big RFP for the state of Maine. Maryland, I have an existing contract with the Maryland Department of Transportation. All of those I found online at the state level. Here's NVSB. If you are a veteran-owned business, look at NVSB, the National Diversity Veteran Small Business Program. I will warn you, it is not free to be a member. It's $1,000 a year plus a few extra fees for their credit card merchant services that you have to use on their orders. NVSB is a program that is marketed to all of the military installations across the country that allows all of the buyers on those military installations that have a government purchasing card, a GPC, to go online, point, click, buy, or request a quote for services through the NVSB. I've had a couple of really good contracts through NVSB. I did a bunch of ballistic vests for one military installation. I've done several orders of t-shirts and hats and things like that that fit my core business. So NVSB e-marketplace requires a bit more work and there is an investment, but the return on that investment can be good if you set it up and do it right. So there's another avenue for you to look at, especially if you're selling some sort of product, because in their products you can actually build an entire online catalog that for the buyers is simply point, click, put their card number in, and it's done. You don't even bid on it. They just buy your products right there off of the marketplace website. So NVSB is one to look at. Once again, I'll put the link down in the description below. Now, I'm going to spend a little time on this service here because this is what I use. Disclaimer up front. I am not getting paid by them. I don't get a discount for showing you this. This is just the one I use, and I do know there are several others out there in the market that you can look at. I've not looked at them. This was the first one I stumbled upon, and they do a perfect job for me, so I don't do any shopping because these guys are doing a great job. I'm not worried about it. Governmentcontracts.us. What these guys do is instead of me going through and scanning all these different sites for bidding opportunities, I go into governmentcontracts.us, load the keywords that I want it to look for, and every morning when I get to my office, I have an email with a whole bunch of opportunities listed that fit those keywords. Now, for those of you that are willing to look at it and work pretty hard for the first 7 days, they do offer a free 7-day trial. If you've never used it before, they'll give you 7 days for free. So if you want to try that, sign up, set all the keywords you want in there, and then watch it for 7 days. If you don't like it, get on there and cancel. Don't let them charge you for it. And to quick, easy, point, click, cancel. If you like it, it's $60 a month, or $59.95 a month is what I pay for this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign in real quick, and I'm going to show you, okay, let's go to my account. Let's go to keywords, and I'm going to show you my list of keywords that I have in here. Come on, dude. There they are. Edit keywords. That's what I wanted. Okay, here's my keywords. T-shirt, tactical, T-shirts, plural, promotional products, promotional items. Scroll on down. Advertising, uniforms, caps, gate, shingle, body armor, tactical carriers, things that I have an in for acquiring, things that are part of my normal business, I put in here. So those are my keywords. Once I'm done, I'm going to update them, and I'm through. You can go in, you can click states. Of course, I select all states because I don't care where you live in the United States. I'll sell you something. And then there's some preferences you can go in. There's my email address, delivery options, email and web, do whatever, state and local, and federal contract opportunities. I like all of those. Now, what do you get from these guys? Let's go in here to my emails. I pulled a couple of them out and set them up in this folder here. So here is what I get every single day. I get this email from Government Contracts. It gives me a report summary based on the keywords that I selected, and it tells me which ones are being more effective for me, which ones are finding more opportunities based on my keywords. So let's start scrolling down. There's one for body armor. I will look at that one. Police uniforms, scrubs and uniforms, fence work. I have a subcontractor that is a fencing company here in town, so I was looking for fence work. I put that in as one of my keywords. Band uniforms. Some of these get a little bit wordy. You can usually tell it's a VA or a sam.gov posting if they're this long. What was that one? Chain link fence. Let's go on down. Apparel for the IT department. That's probably not all that large of a contract, but don't marry yourself to just the big ones, because sometimes the smaller ones are a lot easier to win, and you get enough of those and you're good to go. 3-year contract to perform installation repairs on some fencing. Boy, there's a lot of fence stuff since I added that keyword. Let's scroll down some more. Metal roof replacement, barbed wire fence, lots of fencing. Anyway, look how long this thing is. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And those are all opportunities that I can click on and look at and start bidding on, all provided every single day I get this list. I don't have to look for a thing. For my money, $60 a month is well worth the expense. Now, while we're in my email, let me show you some of the other emails I get. Here's one from Unison. I get these daily. Things that might fit the keywords I have put in, they email me these opportunities. I can click on the link, go straight to Unison, look at the offering. Is it something I want? Recreation athletic equipment? Maybe. I might look at it. For me at this point, I come down here, there's 24 portable PT instructor stands, 60 inch by 60 inch by 3 foot. That sounds interesting. I might look into that. That's one of those opportunities that they emailed me. Here's one from SEPTA, that southeastern Pennsylvania that we looked at earlier. This one is actually, they closed the offering, but I also had an email earlier that they were opening the offering for the information technology department. What is this? Oh, sorry, that was from WAWF. That was me getting paid on a contract. I like that. Here's another Unison, rehabilitation flooring. Here's my government contracts. Now, let me show you this. Probably shouldn't show you her name, but that's an email directly from one of the contract officers at gpo.gov. Once you are established as a performing vendor with a lot of these sites, you will start receiving emailed opportunities that aren't even on the system yet. They will send them to you before they ever post them out there because you have a proven track record of good bidding and good performance and good delivery on these contracts. That's where we're all trying to get, where the contracting officers contact you first, where you have first opportunity. Now, they still have to post it, so you will still have competition, but at least you get a good look at it and it gives you a little bit more time to start putting your quote together. Here's a couple other emails. Here's one from the city of Columbus. They're selling hygiene kits. Here's the RFQ number. So several of these that I get regularly from the different bidding sites. Now, there are also sites like you've seen with Columbus and Houston and Cleveland. So we've been through federal. We looked at state with Texas and Pennsylvania and things like that. Then there's a lot of city sites. New Orleans is one that I bid through quite a bit. They post a lot of opportunities through their city site. Here's the downside to all these different sites. You actually have to register in each one. Takes a little time, business name, EIN, DUNS number if they ask for it. Most don't, but a few do. Address, phone, email address, all that stuff. You got to go in. Some of them will require a W-9 up front. Some of them will ask for it later. Some of them you can register and you're done and active immediately. As soon as you click submit, you're good to go. Others, it has to go through an approval process that may take a couple of days. So be prepared for that. But this is just showing you all of the different places you can go to start bidding on opportunities outside of sam.gov that everybody's playing on for those big giant federal contracts. Now, do not avoid sam.gov, because winning a sam.gov contract for me would be life-changing. It would be enough of a contract that I wouldn't have to worry about selling $62 worth of magnets to southeastern Pennsylvania. So I hope you got a lot out of this. If you have any questions, be sure and hit me up in the comments below. Like and subscribe to this channel. It gives me good feedback and makes me want to keep doing more and more of these videos. Hit me up on social media. I'm on Dr. Kizzy Park's Facebook page all the time and happy to answer your questions when I can. I stay pretty busy, but as soon as I can get to them, I will answer them. Even more importantly than everything you've heard today, and more importantly than any of that like and subscribe business, I want you to go have the best day ever.